Ever thought escaping your past was easy? Think again, because Mila did, and it nearly cost her everything. Today you're about to hear how one girl's search for freedom put her face to face with her worst nightmare, and how one unexpected fan changed her life forever. But here's the twist. Was it a rescue or a trap? Stick around, because you won't believe where this story goes. Mila's heart raced as her plane touched down in Europe. She'd finally done it. Escaped from family pressures, endless judgments, and the looming threat of an arranged marriage. It was her turn to live life the way she wanted. No more rules, no more hiding. At first, things were amazing. New city, new identity, new possibilities. She felt truly alive for the first time in her life. But there was just one catch. She needed money, and fast. That's when she stumbled into something she'd never imagined: OnlyFans. It started as a joke, something daring she'd never consider back home. A photo here, a message there, and suddenly, cash poured into her account. More money than she'd ever seen, buying her independence. Designer clothes, a comfortable apartment, and the intoxicating feeling of control. Life felt perfect. Until one night, it wasn't. Imagine this. It's midnight. You're relaxing, scrolling through messages from fans who treat you like a goddess. Suddenly, there's a knock at your door. It's late. Too late for visitors. Mila froze. She peeked through the peephole, heart thudding painfully. A man stood there, tall, dark suit, face hidden by shadows. Her heart raced. Who was he? A fan who'd crossed boundaries, or worse, someone from her past. She didn't open the door. The knocking eventually stopped, but Mila knew her troubles had just begun. The next morning, Mila woke up to a chilling message from an unknown number. "You look different from when you left home." Her stomach dropped. Who knew she was here? Panic set in. She frantically tried tracing the number, but it was a dead end, an untraceable burner phone. Another message flashed on her screen. "We need to talk. Cafe on Main Street, or I'll knock again." Her blood ran cold. Ignoring it wasn't an option. Fearful but determined, she agreed to meet. At the busy cafe, Mila spotted him instantly, the stranger from her doorstep, quietly sitting in the corner, untouched coffee on his table. He motioned her over. She hesitated, but eventually sat down. Without a word, he slid something toward her, a photograph. Her old life, her old face, her family's home. Her breath caught. "I work for your father," he said coldly. Mila's heart pounded. "My father has no idea where I am." A smirk crossed his face. "He does now." Mila's world began to spin. Everything she'd built was collapsing. She whispered, barely audible, "What do you want?" The man leaned closer. "Your father wants you home, but I'm offering a way out." He placed a USB on the table. "This contains your father's dirty secrets, financial crimes, offshore accounts, enough to ruin him. Take it, disappear for good, and never look back." Shaken, Mila whispered, "Why betray him?" His eyes darkened. "I've seen what happens to girls who don't obey." She didn't need to hear more. Mila grabbed the USB, but her gut warned her. This wasn't over. That night, Mila packed hastily, ready to vanish again. New city, new identity, new freedom, this time for real. But before she could leave, her apartment door creaked open. He was inside, the cafe stranger, but something was wrong. He stepped closer, hands dripping red. Blood. "I told you to disappear," he said harshly. Her voice trembled. "What did you do?" Silently, he dropped a passport at her feet. Her father's. Mila's mind raced. Her father had come for her, but not anymore. The stranger had ended it. "You killed him," she gasped. He didn't deny it. Calmly, he said, "He would have taken you back, You wouldn't have survived. Her chest tightened painfully. She wanted freedom, but not at this cost. Tears filled her eyes. He stepped closer, pressing a plane ticket into her trembling hand. Go, before they find him, and you. She looked up, searching his eyes. Who are you? He smiled bitterly. The only fan you can trust. Without another word, Mila ran. By sunrise, Mila vanished without a trace. No calls, no messages. Nothing left behind but unanswered questions. Thousands of miles away, in a distant city, another young woman sat nervously in front of her laptop, opening a new OnlyFans account. Another escape, another dream of freedom. But was she really safe? Or was another silent watcher waiting patiently in the shadows? Because sometimes, the past doesn't just haunt you, it hunts you. What does it mean for you? Mila's story might sound extreme, but let's get real for a second. How far would you go?